And welcome back to the seventh episode of the New Generation Challenge podcast for season 41, Vets versus New Threats. We are your hosts. My name's Brett Parnell.
And I'm T.
And Titi, we're back for another week. Episode 7.
Yeah,
Last episode before we hit a big twist of the season.
This was a pretty exciting episode, in my opinion. We got the good news, which we'll talk about later. So it kind of sounds like this is probably our second to last daily that they're doing in the switching partners type of thing. And
Yeah.
it kind of sounds like after tomorrow or after the next, then they're gonna go into the partners for the season. So yeah, it was really exciting, and I like that we pretty much got to see not fully, but almost everybody work with everybody. There's still some, I think, new threats that are yet to work with other or something like that, or with new threats. But I think it was interesting to see how even though you could be in opposing alliances, you're gonna at some point be partnered with somebody who you're not totally aligned with.
Yeah, absolutely. And we also see that the points will actually start to be valuable. So I know there was a big topic of like, what are these points doing? Well, now we at least kind of have an idea.
Yeah, and I do like that the points aren't gonna be affecting the final
Yeah,
because I
absolutely.
feel like this is a great way to encourage that, but it's not like, let's say somebody was busting their ass the whole season and then right before the final they lose and their points are just, it doesn't matter how many you had. So I do like how they putting this twist in about the points now so that more people can actually see how it affects their game.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And also, it wouldn't be an episode of the New Generation Challenge podcast without me and Brett drinking. So,
No. What are you drinking, by the way?
wine with a
Nice.
splash of 7 Up.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good for your heart.
I'm having a sidecar today. Spanish brandy, Grand Marnier, orange lemon.
Oh wow, you make it fancy. I just I just get
I
whatever I
stole that
have.
recipe off of the cruise ship.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's nice. I mean, I have a bar cart. I make really good espresso martinis.
Nice.
That's pretty much the only thing I can make. But anyways,
On to the
going
episode.
yeah, into after the elimination, we come back from Olivia defeating Lekka. Her alliance in Theo, Anissa, and Izzy and the Brits are celebrating that.
Now we
And she
really
kind
kind of get to see in this scene who really is in this. I guess it's more the Olivia alliance than the UK alliance because Derek is there as we expected. Anissa is there, um, plus the British and Australian players.
yeah. And she kind of announces that she's coming for Leo, which I thought was interesting. And we've seen Olivia in the past how we didn't really get to see it much on Battle for a New Champion, but we got to see it a lot on Ride or Dies. When she kind of gets angry and in the zone, she is dangerous.
Yeah.
Um, so I remember in Ride or Dies during her hall brawl when she
Yeah.
absolutely smoked Raven. Like I I am scared for Leo, honestly, moving forward because I think Olivia is not somebody who you want angry at you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then after that, we see Ashley and Nani talking about Olivia becoming a threat in this season, and really the two of them as a duo within the broader U.S. alliance is a big theme of this episode.
Yeah, and I think
And
this
I,
was interesting because we haven't really seen Ashley and Nani work together in the
we
past.
haven't.
We've seen Ashley as a anti-vacation alliancer.
Yeah,
So this is
and
interesting.
Nani is in Cozumel. So,
And Nani what? Sorry?
was in Cozumel.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, this is interesting. And speaking of Nani, we see the start of a showmance brewing, beginning of
Yeah,
the episode with her and Will kind of starting to flirt, laying down together, watching TV or whatever. And we'll get into that more
We
later
will.
on.
Hopefully, there's no more punching walls over D now that this has happened.
Yeah. I thought that was funny. I mean, people were like, D is concerned about and Will is crazy. The other thought that was funny. I don't like get why she's concerned, but I just think like, why do you care also, D? Like just he's finally over you. Just let him
Yeah,
be. She's happy, he's happy.
because Johnny's not there. That's why.
Yeah, now she is, yeah, exactly.
Then we get into our daily this week, and this is a fun one. We've never seen. I mean, we saw a brief bit in 40 at an elimination of Bananas and Ryan racing, but now we have a full blown go kart race on the challenge.
Yeah, so basically they have to do 5 laps in between puzzle stations. There's 4 puzzles. And at each puzzle they get minutes to solve the puzzles, and if they don't, they have to go and do 5 more laps, and they get to have a DNF or did not finish for 3 different laps, and then they kind of time out of that puzzle. Carts can go at 100 kilometers per hour or 62 miles per hour for the American audience. Yeah, this
I
was
feel like I
interesting.
might be the only non American audience of this podcast, but
Do they still air? Do you have to watch this online, or do they air it still for
no,
you?
so MTV Canada ceased to exist, but a network called Slice, which is kind of like where Housewives is and stuff in Canada, bought the rights to the
Oh,
challenge.
okay.
So
Oh,
we
okay.
have it over on that channel now. But just for the challenge, no other MTV content is available because I mean, I think the challenge was by far and away MTV's #1 show.
Yeah. Yeah, and they do a lot of crossover with other shows, so that
Mhm.
makes sense. Um Theo gets concerned about Ashley, saying that she's a mean girl, and we kind of get some flashbacks of Ashley's iconic moments in seasons past. Um and
I've missed
while
that part of
they're
Ashley.
yeah,
Then again, I
well,
don't because she seems to be a lot more calm on a season without a certain ally of hers.
yeah, I wonder who that is.
I wonder.
But yeah, Ashley kind of at the beginning of the or daily, she starts getting frustrated because Theo chose the second and fourth puzzles to do. She expresses that she believes, or she knows that the first and third are the easier ones, which makes sense. At first, I was like, how do you know that? But then I was like, it makes sense that the last puzzle is going to be the hardest.
Yeah, probably they get progressively more difficult. So I guess first and third just is easier than 2 and 4. But I would
Mhm.
assume the second one is probably easier than the third one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that was just hilarious because we see Ashley and Theo, who are both on two opposite sides of the political game, not working well at all.
Yeah. I did notice Sydney and were working pretty well together.
Yeah, they were.
They kind of got a good lead, but then we saw Sydney had a pretty hard time with that last puzzle. And a lot of pretty much everybody struggled with that last puzzle,
Yeah.
even CT, even Leo, who ended up, spoiler alert, getting first. This was it was a really hard puzzle, and I think they didn't want them to have that with it, but yeah, there's a lot
And
of pieces in that one.
also, spoiler alert, despite having a difficult season, CT and Anissa come a very close second. They almost won this.
They did. And I think I do enjoy seeing this because as much as I've criticized Anissa over, I think this it kind of shows that the challenge is about like who's the strongest and the fastest and the most athletic. You're also showing that two like of the OG vets are able to almost secure the win in a puzzle like this.
CT's got to buy one of these so him and his son can drive them around at home.
Yeah.
And then we also see, like we said, Nani and Leo get the win. Jeremy and Taylor end up losing.
Yeah, and to make
And
things worse,
go ahead.
TJ reveals that it's a girl's day.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or have there been like 100 girls' days and 2 boys' days this
No,
season? I don't know.
they've been equal. They've been like it's just they haven't always been in order because it depends who goes home.
Okay,
So there
yeah,
was
that
no
makes
way of
sense.
predicting whether it's a girl's day or a guy's day unless
Because they were
whenever there's
even,
equal
yeah.
numbers, TJ would just pick one, but it would depend on who's still in the game.
Yeah, I mean,
So like if I look it up, I have it here. We've had contested. Hey, I mean, you're right. Well, we had five. This is why it's confusing. You are right. There has been more girls' days. We've had 5 girls' eliminations. We've had 3 male eliminations, but we started the season, I guess, because Kara went home. We still have an extra female. Like, well, it's 4 to 3 plus Kara,
oh, okay.
but
Yeah,
Kara
that
was
makes
replaced
sense.
by John A. So there's one extra woman on the cast as a whole.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So
Okay.
there's 5 girls gone, um, three
Because
guys
it feels
gone.
like so many girls have gone home, and it does not feel
Yeah,
like that. Like we saw Bananas go home, Rogan, and what was
Ben.
that guy's name? Yeah, Ben.
And then we've seen Blue, Naya, Leka, and this week Izzy go home. So like this week it put Izzy over the top. We also saw Kara go home but be replaced by John A. So right now
Yeah.
it's 4 girls eliminated, 3 guys eliminated. Next week will be a guys week, and then we'll have the twist.
Yeah.
So it
That
works.
that sounds right. Um, yeah, we go directly into the club after elimination, and we see telling Will that Will is kind of saying, "Well, I wonder what Tay's gonna want," and Olivia basically says, "No one's gonna listen to Will, or no one's gonna listen to whatever she wants," and she's saying, "Do you or Sydney to go into the elimination?" What did you think of that?
I mean, smart play from Olivia if she can get that because of the females, whether they be vet or new threat. I think Dee and Sydney are probably her biggest competition at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which is surprising to say because there are veteran women left in the game. But I mean, at this point, we know that Anissa struggles in finals. We know that Ashley hasn't been around for a long time. Whereas
What I
Dia and
think,
Sydney just look built for this game. And I would not want to face either of them in a final if I was Olivia, despite that I would still say Olivia is the favorite no matter who she goes against.
yeah, and I think it's also worth to note that even though Olivia was voted into the elimination, the vets are still kind of mindset of let's not stir the pot too much.
Yeah.
Um, and we today, or not today, and this in the deliberation, how we got 2 rookies going against each other. So I think even though they did vote for Olivia, Olivia went in, absolutely showed that she is not somebody that you want to vote into the elimination. There's still like Olivia will be the first to get voted in once they don't have the option to vote in someone that they don't necessarily know or who's not Dee or Sydney. But I think that they're still not trying to kind of like stir the pot too
Yeah,
much.
exactly. And if you were to stir the pot too much and vote in Olivia, you're getting her whole alliance to want to vote you in, which isn't
Yeah.
something that everybody has in this game.
Yeah. And Sydney and Dee are campaigning for Izzy. They knew was the one who leaked Olivia's or the plan to Olivia's alliance.
Yeah.
And Ashley talks about how Dee and Sydney are basically with her and Nani's alliance. So I think this is a pretty good move by Dee and Sydney because not only are they with the rookies, time with they're working with some of the vets and getting protection from them.
Yeah, absolutely. Which definitely helps them out. And I mean, you were seeing amongst rookies on both sides, Dee and Sydney have that experience from Survivor to play a really strong political game that maybe people who come from some other places aren't used to.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to add here before we move on?
I don't think so. Sorry, I was looking.
Oh,
I think I have anything else written down.
okay, perfect. Neither do I. So then, after we get back from the club, and Nani and Will are certainly getting the whole house on notice.
Yeah, this was funny. Because they were in bed together, with Leo just on the top bunk.
Minding his own business.
And it they made it sound like, oh, we were busted, but they were busted by the cameras. They weren't busted
Yeah.
by like another person. But they got together and Nani leaves, but she quickly comes back and says, honestly, at this point we're already busted, and quickly jumps back into bed with Will.
Yeah. And then at some point, the entire house knows about it.
Yeah, and we hear Aviv, which was the title of the episode, which I loved, saying at least someone's getting laid. And yeah, Nani and Will head to the bathroom, and after Nani said she was very content with the moment that they shared and says she does not regret it at all. So,
Which is true with that episode title. The word coming into this season very different for the challenge. A lot of people, especially in the new threat side, already in relationships
mm-hmm.
back home.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm happy for her.
Oh
She
yeah.
said it had been a long time for her, so that's great. Um, but yeah, right before we get into liberation, I do want to point something out, which I thought was interesting because
Okay.
we see CT and Olivia kind of having a discussion about who they want to vote into the elimination. A couple things here. I didn't really realize that CT was working with Olivia
Mm.
before this point. He was like, "Who are we gonna say?" And it very much like they were together.
Yeah,
Um,
you're right. I never noticed that. I mean, I noticed it in the episode, but now that I
mhm.
think about it, it's true. We haven't seen CT in
Well,
that US group much either.
CT won World of Worlds 2 with Team UK.
Yeah,
So,
that's interesting.
he is a UK Alliance member. But what I found really interesting was that both CT and Olivia expressed that Dee does not speak to them. CT said that ever since he moved out of the bedroom that he was in, and after the Lekka thing, Dee has not spoken a word to either of them.
Mm,
What did you think about
interesting.
that?
Yeah, I mean, to be that harsh about it, a whole word is very unusual, I guess, if you're living together. Who knows what there is behind it? I would have thought coming into the game that that wouldn't be the case, but I guess at this point, both of them probably see each other as their number one threat if they want to win the finals. So it makes sense that if you're Dio Sydney, you'd be targeting Olivia, and if you're Olivia, you'd be targeting the two survivor girls.
Yeah, and so I've talked about how I really enjoyed Dee on her season of Survivor, and I have not necessarily, which Bruce, hopefully he doesn't kill me, but I don't really like Dee on the challenge. Um, and the reason, or one of the things that she's doing that I don't necessarily agree with, and this might just be because I'm a huge Olivia fan, and just other of the vets, but I talked about how she's kind of coming in with attitude of like holier than thou, doesn't really see herself as a rookie amongst the other players. And I think it's not when you're in a game that's so political and relationships matter, and if you want to keep coming back, burning a bridge with CT and Olivia, CT, one of the greatest players of all time, Olivia, one of the best players that we've seen in the last few seasons, who made the final on her first season. Um, like completely cutting them out is giving them a very easy excuse to say your name. And I think that's not really the way that you would want to go about things. You don't want to make an enemy of anybody. And even if you're like in your head thinking, oh my God, I don't like CT, I don't like Olivia, at least be cordial with them because you're basically stabbing yourself in the foot.
Yeah, absolutely. It, yeah, you make a good point.
That's what I think. But
You're right.
anything else before we go?
No, no, I'm ready to go into votes because this was a really fun vote. One thing I wrote down once we started to see the numbers up is why is TJ? I don't know if you've been watching and this another show that just ended, but I'm like, why is TJ watching hosting Australian Survivor? Because the votes were like in four different directions, like we've been watching there for the last month.
Yeah, I loved side or what do I say? I don't even know what I was gonna say. But a side note was what I meant to say. I really, really enjoyed Australian Survivor. I would like to watch the other seasons. This was my first Australian Survivor season.
They're good. I've seen a couple. I haven't seen the whole franchise, but
I know you've mentioned they're a lot longer, so that's
they that's the reason I haven't seen the whole franchise, is because it's the same reason that I never got into Big Brother, is the fact that there's 3 episodes a week.
Are you watching Big Brother right now?
Enough. Just because we have a new show on this network, but I'm like behind, so I've been following it a bit to know what Kyle's talking about.
Have you been like entertained with it?
Yeah, it's been decent.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
But it's the same kind of thing. I'm just like trying to follow 3 episodes a week in between a job, in between another show that I'm podcasting on, in between doing exercise and eating half decent is not easy. But Australian Survivor is one of those things that I'm like, I try to watch this season while I'm like in airports and such.
Yeah, one thing
Speaking I don't of like. That, maybe I'll do another one in December because I'm gonna have a ton of time on planes.
You don't sleep on the planes?
I do sometimes. It depends on the time of the flight. But like when I'm sitting in a lounge, I'll be watching something to catch up on.
Oh yeah. I usually like to get drinks at the lounges, but
that's what I do too.
Yeah, I knock out anytime I like the second that my head or that I sit down, put my seatbelt on, the plane's about to take off. It like.
So when I'm going like from North America to Europe, I'll sleep quickly because it's a night flight. But like coming back, I'm gonna be on a flight from Bangkok to Amsterdam in December, and you leave at noon and get to Amsterdam at 6 p.m. 13 hours flying over India and the Middle East.
And you can't be wide awake when you get there because then you're gonna like mess
up. I mean, that would be fine because I'm just sitting in the airport till my next flight at 5 a.m. I'm gonna go into Amsterdam and have something to eat at midnight. So
yeah, I don't lie. Like last summer when we flew Chicago to Istanbul to Munich, the night in Munich, and then we went to Portugal. And on the way back from Munich to Istanbul, Chicago, I slept the whole flight from Munich, which was like, I don't know, hours. And then I slept hours in the lounge down because I tried to lay down and they said, you can't do that.
I've done that by accident before.
Oh, no, I was, and they're like, no, you can't. But I slept sitting down 4 hours, got on the flight, slept 15 hours, or I woke in the middle of the night because I had missed dinner and I had ordered something, and then they said there's too. You can have some peanuts, and I was, no, and I kept sleeping. So, anyways, sorry, I don't want to get super sidetracked. I'm really good on planes.
we can have this conversation once we finish the episode sometime about our travel stories. But no, we're all over the place in terms of votes. We have votes going for Izzy, we have votes going for Sydney, we have votes going for who else?
John A.
Yeah. So, and it's rookies, vets, you name it. No one can escape this, but in the end, it becomes Izzy who goes in.
Yeah. And I think, because I'm pretty sure Olivia said to CT, like, oh, you should go first or something like that. And CT and then Olivia, they were pitching D. D is kind of concerned about getting votes, but ultimately Izzy's the one who gets voted into the elimination. Yeah. And Nani
Yeah.
and Leo saved Ashley and Theo, which I thought, again, I mean, it makes sense now that we know that they're very close, but is this also a way for Nani to go an olive branch to say, hey, I saved you.
It's
Don't say
possible.
my name.
It's very possible. I never thought of that till now, but you're right. And then getting into elimination, we have pick it up again, a challenge where both players have to shoot a basketball into a hoop. As they're moving, they have to pick up 7 bricks on each of 5 columns. They have to catch the ball before it drops, or else the bricks are that they collected are void. This was really fun to see.
Yeah, it is literally a challenge version of Samotion from Survivor, which
Yeah.
we just the Australian actually. And speaking of Australian Survivor, I do like how their version is more physical, like you have to get up on the, and it was interesting to see the
Which,
same
from what
idea.
I've heard about Australian Survivor, that doesn't surprise me at all that they have a more physical version.
That's what
Because
Parvati's been saying, yes. It's a
I've
lot
heard
more
from
about
like
endurance.
new players on that show compared to the American show that casting doesn't just happen in the boardroom. Casting happens in the gym because Australia is a very like sports culture that they're like, oh, go run 2 miles. This is part of casting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, why does that matter? I don't know, but hey, they do what they want to do.
Yeah, I mean, it makes for more competitive immunity challenges.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is challenge twist emotion. So I really liked how just how we saw Australian Survivor, their twist to it. We saw that the challenge put their twist on it by making a physical into it. But right off the bat, we see that Izzy knocks over her podium pretty early, and she doesn't really set it back correctly. So it pretty much messes up the whole challenge for her. Instead of kind of being like, oh, I messed this up, let me pat some sand down, set it down again, make sure it's straight. It kind of tries to just, and it did not work out for her at all.
Yeah. Kay is really good at this stuff. I've never obviously heard of her before the challenge task came out, but she could become a regular on this show.
And CT described her as the little engine that could.
Yeah.
And described players like that, and I'm pretty sure he described Michelle as that before too. I don't remember which challenge it was, but I know that I've heard that before. And Tay is somebody like those girls where you see some people could look at them and underestimate their abilities, but we saw her winning the physical elimination that she did against Blue, and spoiler alert, she wins this one, but I was really, really impressed with the way that she was doing this. She took a very calm approach to the game from the start. And someone like Izzy, who was panicking, messing up, knocking over bricks, because a lot of people said, oh, Izzy is definitely going to win this. I'm pretty sure she was, or no, she wasn't an athlete. That was Leka, but still a very fit person. And she was kind of panicking, trying to rush things through. And Tay was more intentional with her moves and making sure that she was setting things down well and making sure that they weren't going to fall over. And it paid off in the end.
Yeah. Absolutely, it did. And then at the end of the episode, we get TJ revealing the twist where the points are going to determine your draft order. And once we finish one more guys' week, we're going to be picking partners that will hold for the rest of the season. And one thing he did not say, but I had this conversation with a couple people today that I know who watched the show. it'll be interesting to see, is this really when he says the whole season up until the last daily, or are they going to be partners for the entire final too?
So he did say the rest of the season.
Yeah,
To me, that sounds like they are going to be partners until the final.
I would anticipate so. We just haven't got a final in a long time where they weren't switching partners every
Or even
few
in
seconds.
partnerships.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
haven't seen that in a while. I think World Champs was the last time that we saw like a true partnership
That wasn't
final.
Ride or Dies, which I mean was kind of obvious.
Yeah. I think new Battle for the New Champions was after Ride or Dies.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, this is interesting.
It
I'm
is.
excited to see how this turns out, and I'm curious to see how it's gonna work because he said person with the most points gets to or gets to pick who they get.
Right.
I mean, it just kind of goes down the line,
That's
is
right.
what I would assume.
Absolutely. So before we get into our players of the week, I had something here that came up in my mind. I have all the table up in front of me right now. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because that would be next to impossible to keep track of. But I'm going to give you, because like TJ said, that it still has to follow the same idea. Rookie male picks vet female. Female picks vet male. Vet male picks rookie female. Rookie male picks vet female. I think I covered all of our bases there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the 4 players who are on top of their category, and I want us to see in this episode who we think they're going to partner with. So
I'm glad that written down because I have no clue who's on that
I have it all on my phone right here that I don't think you guys can see because of the reflection.
That's why he's a better host.
So in first place amongst the whole cast is a vet female, Michaela.
How many points do we know or no?
She has 38 points so far.
Okay.
Michaela has scored points in every episode since the premiere.
Wow.
She has 4th, 7th, 2nd, 1st, 4th, 5th.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
Who's next up on, or I guess?
Next up would be a rookie male, and that's Will, who has 30 points.
Okay.
We have right after we go to another vet female, but if I was going to go to the next category, it would be a rookie female with 24 points, Sydney, who will have first pick in her category. And also with 24 points, the highest vet male, which is Turbo.
Okay. Yeah, so I wonder if this next daily is going to have kind of like, now that TJ has revealed how crucial these points are, I wonder if this next daily is going to give them more points than the other challenges.
Very possible. But let's just go with this. If you were in Michaela's position as the top vet female, what rookie male do you think she's going to pick?
I would say a Jeremy.
That was my thought.
I think since the first challenge that they did, which see who gets in the house first or whatever, he got first place. He's performed very well.
Will is the highest scoring veteran male. Rookie male in second after Michaela in terms of the total house. So he has to pick a veteran female. Where do you think he's going to go? I'm just going to say I'm really not sure on this one. It's going to depend if he's thinking logically or emotionally, because it's either Nani or Olivia.
Yeah.
We'll see what is Will's priority come the draft day.
Yeah, I wonder who he's gonna want. Because I think if he's smart, he would not go with Nani because not like, and this is another thing that I think he's doing very well. And I almost gave him my player of the week for this.
Mm,
But I think Nani is somebody who seen season after season, not really Stars 5, she had to go in a lot because it wasn't really her crowd. But Nani's the most well protected vets that we've ever seen on the show. There's been seasons he's never been voted into. Um, or he wouldn't be with Nani because he knows Nani is gonna be protecting him anyways. You
yeah,
got to have your bases covered.
that's true. And I'll talk about that with another player soon. But next we have Turbo. So, which rookie female do you think Turbo is going to pick?
Sydney.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. They're tied, so it's going to really depend on who gets points next week.
Yeah. I think
So
definitely
if
there's gonna be like double points or something like
yeah,
that because they also want to make it kind of an even playing field, showing like if you're able to, or like chance, I guess you're not just fucked, don't have many points.
yeah. If Turbo comes ahead of Sydney, I think you're right. But just for argument's sake, for the next one, I'm going to say that Sydney comes ahead of Turbo in total points since they're coming in
Mm-hmm.
tied. I think Sydney is going to make the biggest move of this game right here and take Theo. And then she's in
Interesting.
both alliances because neither one wants to get rid of her.
See, I feel like Sydney isn't it isn't really in a spot where she fears confident with herself. So I don't think she necessarily fears going into elimination.
Yeah,
And I think my theory is she's not going to want to deal with the backlash and the arguing and not agreeing on things that come with being partnered with someone who's directly against what she's doing.
hmm.
I think
Interesting.
she'd rather have the choice to vote in the people that she does not like or does not want to work with.
Makes sense.
That's my theory. I don't know.
We will see. I probably 2 more weeks till we know.
Yeah.
Hopefully one, but I'm anticipating someone will get eliminated and they'll just cut the episode because that's what they usually do.
Yeah.
Player of the week. Who do you got?
I said CT for my male because
Same.
he performed very well in the daily and just after being kind of downplayed by others because of the challenge that he had where he was scared, rightfully so, you know.
Mhm.
But I think he did a really good job kind of proving to this, not to the viewers, because we all know CT is great. I don't care if he's in really bad shape. He knows how to lock it in when he wants to.
Yep,
But he just kind of further proved his legend status and showed these rookies that he's here to play.
absolutely. Can't agree more. Male, female player of the week. Who's your pick?
Um, so I said Tay
Hmm.
because I think she did a really good job in this elimination. And like we talked about earlier, she's the little engine who could really reminds me of people like Michelle, people like Cara, who get
Yeah,
underestimated. And when push comes to shove, they show up into elimination and they do what they need to do.
nice. I went with Nani this week. Won a daily, built a new relationship that will help protect her. Got protected by, protected Ashley, I mean, which is another new social relationship that we've never seen the two of them work together, despite that they've been on many seasons together. So I think
Mm-hmm.
overall it was a strong week for Nani's game moving into the second half.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I agree with that for sure.
All right,
Um,
what about your loser player male of the week?
So I went with Jeremy because I think he has been seen as the biggest threat. And again, I said he would probably be the first person to be picked out of the rookies, but he did so poorly in that daily. And like, going from winning the first challenge to winning and performing very well and just getting fast, you to be successful in a game like the challenge, you need to make sure that you're not just good at certain things. And maybe it was also that he didn't try his hardest because it was not a, or I guess he didn't wouldn't know that it was a guy's day or not.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I was just disappointed that in his performance for this daily, I think you got to try harder, and it didn't look to me that he was that like into it.
absolutely. I went with Theo in this position. Not only did he struggle at puzzles, but it is not a good episode if you make Ashley Mitchell really pissed off at you. That's just not a place I want to be if I'm ever on the challenge.
Yeah, I agree with that pick. Absolutely. For my female, I kind of a split here. I had initially chosen Izzy because we did see she was complaining about going against her friend, and the vets were like, "Okay, Nani's literally gone against her girlfriend and her cousin." Like,
Yeah, I picked
not
Izzy as well.
people don't feel bad for you, and then
No,
also just not being able to work under pressure. I think it kind of shows
and I mean, it
her.
shouldn't have even taken Nani to get there. Olivia should have told her, "I've gone against my best friend last season," and when they're in an alliance together.
Yeah, and I don't know if she thought people were gonna feel bad for her, but like you saying that almost makes people like not feel bad at all because you're like, I had to go whining about it. People don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
And so her performance in the elimination, she knocked over her podium. She kind of shows she doesn't work well under pressure. She's not able to kind of like feel like when you're like that, when everything's going wrong, you have to take a step back and be like, okay, what do I need to do? Slow down for 1 second, pat over the sand, set the podium down, make sure it's straight. It's not going to fall. It should not have fallen over like 5 times.
No, absolutely not.
But my other one was D because of the reasons I explained. I'm not a big fan of entitlement. And I don't think that she's moving the way that if I was in the house as a rookie, I would not kind of have this, no, I'm not speaking to you because of did this, that, and the other.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, that wraps up another week. Thanks everyone for listening. We will be back next week for episode 8, probably the last of the first half of the season. Well, I mean, first half, it's probably going to go till Christmas, whatever that is. But the first, before the twist. I mean, last season I was at the premiere party in August, and it went until, what, February?
Like, it was like the end, something like that. I don't
Yeah.
know. Ridiculous.
I was sitting there in the winter, negative 40 Celsius, going, it was the summer when I was in shorts in Central Park right before the premiere party.
Yeah. Don't know. Hopefully it will happen this year, but
Yeah, but we will be back. Thanks everyone for listening. Bruce, I know you won't be angry at us for our opinions about Dion this season. I'm
do
sure
you think
she'll
he's
be
listening?
great. Oh, definitely. But that's okay. But
right.
I'm sure she'll be great on Survivor.
Thank you guys for listening, and
Bye.
come back next week.